So we are continuing with this class. So last we stopped with an assignment. So next we can move on to alterations in consciousness. That is, alteration in level of consciousness indicate brain dysfunction. And causes can be destruction to anatomic structure, that is from head injury or any due to history of fall or accident. And next is toxic effect or metabolic defects, that is toxic effect mainly due to alcoholic intoxication or any if as a result of any poisonous substance that harms the brain or any impulse transmission. And then next is metabolic defect, for example diabetic ketoacidosis or hepatic encephalopathy or severe renal failure. Then next to the causes we can see first there is a synonym for that: A, alcohol; E, epilepsy; I, insulin. There is that means any hypoglycemia or diabetic ketoacidosis or hyperglycemia. Then next is O, opium; U, uremia; T, tumor; I, injury; P, psychiatric; S, stroke. So AEIOU tips. Okay, these are the causes for alteration in level of consciousness. So hope you will remember with this synonym. And S, sepsis. Okay, and also along with that there are pharmacologic causes and metabolic disorders. Then we can move on to the mental status examination. Otherwise we can say it as what? Cerebral function assessment. So in that the components are that you have already you are learning in psychology. So orientation, whether the person is oriented to time, place and person. And then next is memory. So then attention and concentration, abstract judgment, ability to calculate, general knowledge, language, appearance and behavior, mood and affect. Okay, so regarding the orientation, you know well. And next is memory. In the memory you have to assess the immediate recall, recent memory and remote memory. In the immediate recall you can ask the information presented seconds previously, like what you have done just before your neurological assessment starts, and events or information from earlier in the day or examination. So last night what you have for the dinner. Then next the knowledge recalled from months or years ago, that is remote or long term memory. So then next is attention and concentration. So attention span determines the client's ability to focus on a mental task. Okay, and concentration. So then abstract judgment, you can give a something like വീടിന് തീ പിടിച്ച എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കും, അങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചോദിച്ചിട്ട് പേഷ്യൻ്റെ ability for abstract judgment you can find out. Then ability to calculate, you can give simple calculations. So while giving the calculations you have to assess the educational level of the patient, and then only you are supposed to ask regarding that. Then general knowledge, you can ask something, who is the Prime Minister of India, or language. Then appearance and behavior, mood and affect. So next we can move on to the cranial nerve assessment. Okay, the cranial nerve assessment. What are the cranial nerves? Olfactory nerve, optic nerve, oculomotor nerve, trochlear nerve, trigeminal nerve, abducen nerve, facial nerve, vestibulocochlear nerve, glossopharyngeal nerve, vagus nerve, accessory nerve and hypoglossal nerve. So first we can assess the cranial nerve, olfactory nerve. The main function is smell and it is a sensory nerve. The type of nerve also you have to consider, that is whether it is sensory or motor or it is a mixed nerve, both sensory function as well as the motor function. The olfactory nerve, we are assessing the sense of smell. So cannot evaluate if nasal passages are obstructed by rhinitis or polyps, and ask the patient to close the eyes and occlude one nostril and test other, compare two sides. And also while giving, use non-irritating substance. Avoid those that stimulate trigeminal nerve endings or taste buds. For example, peppermint, menthol, ammonia. Next is optic nerve. For assessing the optic nerve, it is also a sensory nerve. We are assessing the visual acuity and visual field. Visual acuity we are checking with what? Snellen chart. Okay, So you know how to check the Snellen's assessment, visual acuity using the Snellen's chart. Next is visual field. So visual field, you have to assess the peripheral visual field. Then next, so I am moving just the visual acuity, that is how you have to position the patient. It is mentioned over here, that is position the patient 20 feet from the chart and test one eye at a time. Test one eye at a time. And regarding the visual field, you have to assess the temporal field, then nasal field of the eye. Okay, so for checking the visual field, to test the temporal field of the eye, extend and move your right arm in from the patient's right periphery. And to test the upward field of the left eye, extend and move the right arm down from the upward periphery. And to test the downward field of the left eye, extend and move the right arm up from the lower periphery. And to test the nasal field of the left eye, extend and move your left arm in from the periphery. And repeat the same steps for the right eye also. Okay, next nerve, next three nerves we are assessing, that is oculomotor, trochlear and abducent. So this for assessing that the extraocular muscle movements of the eye we are assessing, and also the pupillary reflex and consensual reflex and accommodation. So these are the functions we are checking with this oculomotor, trochlear and abducent. Extraocular muscle movements, pupillary reaction and accommodation. So these are the extraocular muscles of the eye: superior rectus, inferior rectus, superior oblique, inferior oblique, medial rectus and lateral rectus. Okay, then next is test direct and consensual pupillary reaction to light. So we have to check the pupillary response. For that you can dim the lights. Here it is written, dim the lights and fix gaze on opposite wall to eliminate the effects of accommodation. Shine bright light obliquely into each pupil, and also that is from outer canthus to inner canthus. And look for both direct, that is same eye. അതായത് നിങ്ങൾ നോക്കേണ്ടത് പ്യൂപ്പിലറി റിയാക്ഷൻ നോക്കുമ്പോൾ ലാറ്ററൽ ക്യാന്തസ് ടു ഇന്നർ ക്യാന്തസ് ആണ് ടോർച്ച് അടിക്കേണ്ടത്. അപ്പോൾ അന്നേരം സെയിം ഐയിൽ നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഡയറക്റ്റ് പ്യൂപ്പിലറി reaction. And consensual reaction means while that is shine the light on the pupil again and observe the response of the other people, it should also constrict, that is the consensual reflex. ഇപ്പുറത്തെ കണ്ണിൽ അടിക്കുമ്പോൾ അപ്പുറത്തെ കണ്ണിലും pupil constrict ആവണ കാണാം, that is the consensual reflex. Okay, shine the light on the pupil again and observe the response of the other people, it should also constrict, that is the consensual reflex. And after that you have to record the pupil size and shape. So normally the pupils are equal in size and shape and are situated in the center of iris. Pupillary size varies with the intensity of ambient light, but at average intensity it is 3 to 4 mm. And in case of miosis it is less than or equal to 2 mm. And mydriasis it is greater than or equal to 5 mm. And anisocoria, the term you should be familiar with that term, anisocoria, that is pupillary asymmetry. So you can see the images of dilated pupil, constricted pupil and anisocoria. Okay, then next is for checking the accommodation, hold the finger 10 cm from patient's nose and alternate looking into distance and at your finger. So observe the pupillary response. So for observing, if the patient is looking far object, the pupils dilates, and near object the pupil constrict. That is the way you are checking the accommodation. Next nerve is trigeminal nerve assessment. So for checking the trigeminal nerve, it's a mixed nerve, motor part and sensory part is there. And for checking this motor part, bilaterally palpate the temporal and masseter muscles while the patient clenches the teeth. So ask the patient to clench the teeth and palpate the temporal and masseter muscle. And for checking the sensation, ask the patient to close the eyes and test forehead, each cheek and jaw on each side for sharp and or dull. That is, use a cotton swab sensation. Direct the client to say now every time the cotton is felt. Okay, so that means the trigeminal nerve, it is a mixed nerve, and for checking the sensation, the trigeminal nerve has three branches: ophthalmic branch, mandibular branch and maxillary branch. So we are checking these three regions: forehead, forehead, cheek and jaw. Okay, and also ask for checking the motor function, ask the patient to clench the teeth. Okay, so that's all regarding. And also you can move to the next slide. And also the corneal reflex also we are checking in this trigeminal nerve assessment. Next is facial nerve. You can see in this picture the facial nerve abnormality, facial deviation. Then how to check the facial nerve? Simply we can say, you can ask the patient to show Navarasangal. Okay, so ask the patient to raise the eyebrows, കണ്ണ് ഒന്ന് മുകളിലോട്ടാക്കാവോ, ഇറുക്കി അടയ്ക്കാവോ, then പല്ല് കാണിക്കാവോ, ചിരിക്കാവോ, like that you can ask. And you can assess the facial nerve. Ask the client to close both eyes and keep them closed. Try to open them by retracting the upper and lower lids simultaneously and bilaterally. And also ask the patient to raise the eyebrows, show teeth, grimace, smile, puff both cheeks, and assess the face for symmetry and abnormal movements. And also this facial nerve also have motor part and sensory part. So this with this that means with this Navarasangal you are assessing the patient's facial nerve motor part, and sensory part you have to assess or give some sweet and salt in the anterior 1/3 of the anterior 2/3 of the tongue, and whether the patient is able to determine or distinguish between sweet and salt or sour or bitter items. Okay, so between each solution the mouth needs to be rinsed with the water. Okay, that is you can see in this. And the next nerve is acoustic nerve for or vestibulocochlear nerve. In that we are assessing the hearing ability of the patient. Weber's test and Rene's test you can use to check this acoustic nerve, and it is a sensory nerve. Hearing and equilibrium we are checking. Then see how the tuning fork is placed, you know, Weber's test and Rene's test, so I am not moving into the details of that. Okay, the next is glossopharyngeal and vagus nerve. So this glossopharyngeal nerve, it is the sensory nerve, and for that you have to check what the posterior 1/3 you have to assess the taste sensation. Okay, and also sensation in pharynx and tongue, and also the pharyngeal muscle. Okay, that we are checking with this glossopharyngeal and vagus nerve. Both are mixed nerve, and in that you are assessing the gag reflex, vagus nerve. Okay, so ask the client to open the mouth, depress the client's tongue with the tongue blade. Ask the client to say ah. Usually the soft palate raises and the uvula remains in the midline, and observe the individual, whether the individual swallows, and also test gag reflex. Okay, so next is spinal accessory nerve. So for that the trapezius muscle we are checking. So push head back against resistance and shrug shoulders. If the patient resists, the spinal accessory nerve is functioning well. And sternocleidomastoid muscle, place the hand on lower face and have patient rotate the head toward that side and observe contraction of opposite sternocleidomastoid muscle. The next is hypoglossal nerve. To check the hypoglossal nerve, ask the patient to protrude the tongue and move it side to side. Assess for symmetry and atrophy. And also നിങ്ങൾ മിഠായി വായിലുണ്ടെന്ന് കാണിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് സൈഡിൽ ഇങ്ങനെ ഉണ്ട ഉണ്ടാക്കാറുണ്ട്. അതുപോലെ നിങ്ങളുടെ ടങ്ക് വെക്കാൻ പറയുക. എന്നിട്ട് റെസിസ്റ്റൻസ് കൊടുക്കുക. ഇഫ് ദ പേഴ്സൺ ഈസ് ഏബിൾ ടു റെസിസ്റ്റ് വിത്ത് ദാറ്റ് ദ hypoglossal nerve is functioning well. So these are the different cranial nerve assessment.